Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Croom, and today I'll be telling you a little something about why sports are so enjoyable in the United States. Now, before I get started, I'd just like to say that I use Bleacher Report and the Washington Post as my two sources of information for this speech. Now, let's get into this. Today, we'll cover why sports are so enjoyable, what about sports makes people enjoy to play them, and what about them makes sports so fun. Okay, so why do people enjoy sports? Well, people enjoy sports because it takes them away from reality at sometimes. You have that rough day at work, you come home and that's all you're thinking about is the game tonight. You're playing their division rival and it's a big game, it's supposed to be sold out, and all you can think about is what is going to happen for the next few hours. You forget about all the worries at home, all the worries at work, just escapes your brain, and that's all you're thinking about is the game. So also another thing is sports inspire us to do better things and become better people. People as a whole that like to play sports really understand that you need to get into your mindset, the right mindset, before you play your sport, your game. That's why people listen to music before games. They get themselves ready, they get themselves hyped. And another thing about getting yourself ready for a game is that sports make your mind more active. It's been scientifically proven that the more you exercise, the more your brain functions. And that's why you see people out on the field or on the court or wherever, they're doing their pregame rituals, they're warming up, they're doing their stretches, they're getting as much energy in a short amount of time so that they are pumped up and they are ready to go for their game, because that's what's important. It's that getting your confidence ready for the game and getting your body and mind ready for the game. And another thing about sports is that it's so exhilarating for the fans. You get there and you're so hyped, you're up in the crowd, you're watching the game, and that's all you're thinking about is you're just getting really pumped up when they score a touchdown or they make a basket, or they score a goal or anything like that. Your adrenaline, just levels go all the way up. And that is really what makes sports so fun, is you can take your emotion and put it into the game. Even if you're not playing, even if you're just watching, your emotion levels are still out the roof. And the best part about having that emotion is it's the feeling good, when you play well or your team is winning. That feeling is what really also helps players do well. You make one good play, and that's when the momentum can shift in a game. Someone scores a three-pointer, someone, recovers a lost fumble in football. Anything like that, any type of confidence boost, to make you feel like you're doing well, make you feel like your team's doing well, your team's winning. That's what separates the winners from the losers, is getting that confidence all the way up to where you feel like you can play even better. But those aren't the most important parts of sports. It's not the winning. It's not about any of that. It's about the friendships you make. Especially at my level and levels below mine, especially since I'm a high school student. It's about the friendships and the lasting relationships you get. Some of my best friends have come because I played sports when I was younger, and I'm grateful for that, because everything about sports is my life. I love that, and my friends love it, and that's all we talk about really, is our involvement in sports, why we like sports, why we play them. That is just the most important parts in our life. Also, like I said earlier, when you're playing sports, you're listening to your music, you're escaping from that reality. You're not worrying about anything. You're not worrying about the game even at that point. You're just worrying about getting you in your mindset, getting your confidence levels all the way up, just preparing for anything that could happen in that game. It's about seeing it and then doing it, right? If you can imagine it happening, it will happen. Just like in basketball, you just imagine yourself making shots, and guess what happens? You're going to make those shots, because it's all about getting your confidence way up. And that is one of the most important parts about sports. It's not all about the skill. Sometimes it's just about getting your mindset of, I can do this, I can play well, I can help this team become much better. And my favorite part about sports, even though it's not not the most important, is the trash talk that comes along with it. You make a clutch shot, something like that, you could walk over to your family, your friends, other players on the court. Now, you shouldn't do this too much, because sometimes it is unsportsmanlike, but when you get into their heads, you can really throw them off the game. And when you're talking about division rivals in football and your family members, a different team than yours, and you just beat them, guess what you got to do? You got to own them for the next few days until you guys play again. And that's the best part about sports. You got to have all that fun, and taking that trash talk, translating it into the fun part of sports. That's all you're thinking about, making fun of other people. Now, it's not always the best thing to do, like I said earlier. It's about, creating those friendships, but sometimes you are there to get a little dirty and have a little fun with that. My last point I'd like to say is that when you get behind a winning team, your confidence goes all the way up, right? Maybe you're not winning, maybe you're not playing the best, game of your life. But if your team's doing well, what you got to do is you got to be there to support them. You can't just give up on them and say, I'm playing terrible, this shouldn't be happening. No, it's all about supporting your teammates, supporting your team behind in any way possible. And that's really what the importance of sports is getting behind your team, supporting them in any way, making lasting friendships, and a little bit of trash talk here and there. Thank you for listening to my speech.